It's a common misconception that Christians think all atheists are just these bitter, angry people who have no basis in morality and who just criticize religion because they are either angry at God or are just trying to rebel against society for something that is beyond comprehension. But, you know, among these common misconceptions is that atheists are all very vocal about their atheism. And while that's not true of some atheists, it is true for me. Many Christians who have heard of my channel have often asked me why I am so open about my atheism, why I am so openly critical of religion. After all, can't we peacefully coexist? Can't we just all get along without having to start all sorts of negative things like my YouTube channel, which is solely almost devoted to criticizing religious ideology? Many atheists' first response would be that they would point to all the atrocities committed by religious people in past and present. Atrocities that are often overlooked by most religious people on a day-to-day basis because they don't consider that there is blood on the hands of their religions. No matter what their religion tries to profess as peaceful or respectful or honorable, no religion in actuality is really clean. For some, the Inquisition, Salem witch trials, the denouncing of safe sex practices in favor of abstinence-only programs that clearly and statistically have been proven to have failed, the bigotry and prejudice shown to atheists, to the LGBT, to other minority religious groups. This is reason enough for most people to be vocal against religion, but not for me. This is not the first step, I think, to showing Christians, Muslims, Jews, etc. why I criticize religion. While I don't deny that the atrocities committed by religion in the past and in present are important and should not be overlooked, I think the more important thing is for the religious who ask this question to understand why religion caused these atrocities, and why, in turn, I speak out against religion. There's a common argument that goes like this. Well, there's no real reason to criticize religion above any other ideology, since, well, there are stupid people on both sides. You've got smart atheists, dumb atheists. You've got benevolent Christians. You've got Christians that are serial killers. You've got Muslims that preach words of peace and freedom and equality, and you've got Muslims that want to oppress the masses in order to subjugate them to their own personal brand of faith. Why should we criticize any particular ideology? With this, I both agree and disagree, and this is why I think it is important for people to think critically. And a small but important branch of thinking critically is being skeptical towards theological claims, claims of supernatural origin, claims that sound too good to be true. Even with just politics, it has been shown that people who don't think critically, people who just follow the masses, really tend to be easily brainwashed, and, well, stupid people do stupid things. But see, there's something interesting about religion that separates it from all other ideologies, that makes it more dangerous, in my opinion, than any other agent of social control that has existed or currently does exist. And that is that religion lacks a reality check. There's simply no way to test any of the claims of religion in comparison to any of the claims of politics or any of the claims of anything else for that matter. And religion does this by propagating the virtue of non-thinking. In other words, faith, belief without evidence, and also denouncing or punishing people who think critically. Especially when it comes to things like politics, you can make all sorts of bold claims and people will believe it on faith. But eventually, when push comes to shove, you have to provide results. And if you don't provide results and people see that you don't provide results, then they're going to start questioning you. And that questioning will eventually lead to your downfall. But people turn away that critical eye when it comes to religion because that's what they're told to do. That's what makes their God happy, and that's what will gain them passage into heaven. Okay, so why is this relevant? Well, even though I have a very small subscriber base, I have a voice in the atheist community. And to be honest, if it were not for people like me and those who are much greater and who have much more influence than I, there is not a shadow of a doubt in my mind that religion would completely trample over my rights and the rights of all other atheists, and not only atheists, but also other minorities that happen to have the short end of the stick. I have been criticized by people who know about me and who have heard why I criticize religion as being overdramatic, as, well, there are moderate Christians and moderate Muslims and moderate Jews who tolerate others, because even moderate Christians and Muslims and Jews are bigoted enough, mandated by their faith to be bigoted towards people like me, atheists, and the LGBT, and other minority groups that they deem are unworthy or sinful. And yes, this is where I can say that this is the way it has always been in the past. This is the way it is in the present, especially towards the LGBT. And undoubtedly, to me, this is the way that it will be in the future if we give religion a pedestal where it cannot be criticized like every other ideology. May the truth always be heard.